This image may look familiar if you're like me and you've seen the recent viral video. It shows a cluster of UFOs in the sky above Miami, Florida. But is it real or fake? Well, we'll take a look at it using digital forensics and see what we find. This particular video has over 2 million views. I'll share the link for it in the description. It comes from Twitter. There's a second video for this too, showing a similar formation that comes from the same source. We're going to take a look at both of them. I'll show you clips of these videos, and of course the second one will be linked in the description also. And then we'll take a look at it. This one took me on quite a journey. You'll see where we end up at the end of it. But first, the clips.
Look, no bullshit. No bullshit. Look at Little Thunder. Esto, lo otro, the pool. What is that? Oh, wait. Bye.
Okay, the first three images that we're going to look at come from that first clip. The software we're using for this is Foresically. The link for it's in the description. This is free software. You also don't even have to install anything. It just works right in your web browser. You also don't have to be online. As long as you have it loaded in your browser, if you lose connection to the internet, it's still going to work. Now, the screenshots I have here are going to capture the digital signatures within this video, so we're going to work with what's already there. What we're looking for is any digital signatures that have stand out and look to be altered from the original footage. The first thing we want to do though is take a look at our JPEG analysis down here. We see that our quality is at 90, and when we take a look at it using the error level analysis, that's what the default is, so I don't have to change anything here. But I am going to go ahead and bump up the scale on the error scale here. That way it's a little easier for everyone to see. As soon as I do that, you see that something jumps out right away. We've got some digital signatures that look very different from our background sky around the lights that we're seeing in this cluster of UFOs. Now let's take a look at the next image, and we're going to see a similar thing. There's our lights, here's our cloud, this is our background sky, and we've got these digital signatures standing out. But we always want to take a look at a fairly thorough examination of this. We do see that the edge of this has these lines here. That's just from the edge of the video. When I took this particular screenshot, it captured a little overlap on the side of that video. But let's take a look at the third image we have here of that first video. And what we're looking at here is just the city lights and the water near where this was captured. And if we take a look at our error level analysis here, we're seeing the same kind of signatures that we saw in our lights in the sky. And then we've got these similar gray lines in the background, but we know those city lights were there in the original footage. So why are they showing up similar to the lights in the sky? That would lead you to think that this is actually authentic. But one thing we're not seeing in this is the reflection. We've got the reflection of the city lights, but we don't have the reflection of our lights in the sky. It just doesn't show up in this image. Let's take a look at the second video that we had, and I've got three images to look at from that. The first one, we're just going to look at the sky, and again, we're not seeing the reflection of the lights in the sky, we're just seeing the lights of the city. Taking a look at our error level analysis, we're seeing all these signatures that stand out. And if we compare that to our next clip here, this shows the city lights and our light in the sky. And you can see that these are similar similar signatures. But again, we don't see the reflection in either of these two images in the water. Now the next thing that I have to show you, something that somebody really noticed. When the guy was panning around, at one point he captured not only the UFO, but the city lights. And the camera was moving so fast that the city lights streaked, as you see at the bottom of this here. If we take a look at that in the ELA, we're seeing all the digital signatures, and they're similar to the lights in the sky. But if you'll notice, the lights for the city are streaking because the camera's moving so fast. But the lights in the sky are not streaking. They're not streaking along with the city lights. So that tells you something, that's probably something different. That's something that doesn't match. We should be seeing the lights in the sky streaking along with the lights of the city at the bottom of this image, because the camera is panning so fast that's causing that streak. Now, what we have discovered is, if we take a look at that image of the first video, there's actually an app that people have found for iPhones called Ufo Video Camera. This is an augmented reality thing. What it does, if you look at the description of this particular app, is you turn the app on and then it uses your camera and starts recording video. You pick which UFO you want, like the effect. And there's several different ones. In this particular screenshot of the app, we have the same similar image that we're seeing. This is a side-by-side comparison of the app, a demonstration of the app where you get it on the Apple Store, and then this is one of the first screenshots that I looked at in the analysis. We see this the same effect. And in the description of this app, it says that you pick a point in the sky, and then that's where your UFO is. And no matter where you move your phone around, when you go back to that point in the sky, that's where you're going to see the UFO. And if you look at the video, the guy does that. He pans around, and then every time he goes back to that same area, that's where the UFO is. And so this explains why, when he was panning around so fast, the city lights streaked in the image, but the UFO didn't, because that was being drawn onto the video that was being created using this app. And that also explains why our digital signatures are matching between the lights in the sky and the city lights, because the digital signatures were all created at the same time using this particular app. This wasn't something that he recorded and then edited later with some kind of software. He used software to record the whole thing, and it added it as it was recording. So that's why the digital signatures match. Now go ahead and link the iPhone app from the Apple Store that this was used with to create, and it's pretty obvious that he used this for both videos. And you can tell that he's trying to really sell it in the second video, because he's panning around and really making a show of it. This isn't fake, but it was. The digital forensics was a little confusing because we don't see the reflection of this lights in the sky and the water, but then our digital signatures are matching the lights in the sky and the city lights. And this is why. Both videos were created using this app. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little adventure. Hit a like and subscribe if you like this. And we'll catch you next time. Enjoy yourself.